In the ancient forests of Europe, where sunlight filters through dense canopies, there existed a group of people who once held remarkable knowledge and power. The Druids. These spiritual leaders were not only healers, judges, and philosophers, but also served as the bridge between humans and nature, between the present and the mystical world. With their gift of prophecy and sacred rituals, the Druids helped the Celts shape their culture and spirituality. But, as the Roman Empire rose, they faced a fierce challenge to protect their beliefs and traditions against the might of an expanding civilization. Let's delve into the vibrant and mysterious story of the Druids, who became symbols of resistance and a deep connection to the natural world. Druids are a group of spiritual and intellectual leaders of the ancient Celtic people in Celtic cultures, especially in the lands now known as England, Ireland, and across Europe. They play important roles in Celtic society, performing various functions such as healers, judges, philosophers, and custodians of cultural traditions. The origin and development of Druid is an interesting topic, related to the culture, religion, and society of the Celtic people. Druids may have appeared around the 4th century BCE in Celtic tribes living in Europe. They are part of a larger Celtic culture, distributed from Ireland, England, Wales to most of Europe, especially the Gaul region, now France. Druids are believed to have evolved from the religious and intellectual leaders of indigenous tribes, influenced by ancient religious traditions. In Celtic society, Druids held an important position, seen as keepers of knowledge, law, and religious rituals. They could be teachers, judges, and healers, as well as advisors to tribal leaders. Druids became powerful and had a significant influence around the 1st century BCE, when they played important roles in the religious ceremonies, festivals, and social activities of the Celtic people. The Druid education system was highly developed, with students having to undergo many years of training. Druids held many important roles and functions in ancient Celtic society. Druids held the role of spiritual leaders in ancient Celtic society. They were seen as religious advisors connecting humans with the gods. They performed religious rituals and led the community in worship activities. They organized and conducted important ceremonies throughout the year, including harvest festivals and religious commemorations. People trusted in the Druids' ability to perform rituals to seek protection, blessings, and success in the harvest. Druids also play a role as the disseminators and preservers of the knowledge, culture, and history of the Celtic people. They preserve myths, stories, and cultural rituals through oral tradition. Druids have a complex education system where students must undergo many years of study to become a Druid. They are taught about philosophy, nature, medicine, and law. Additionally, Druids often hold the position of judges in disputes and conflicts between individuals or tribes. They are responsible for making fair decisions based on community laws and customs. In addition to judging, Druids also act as mediators, helping to resolve conflicts without resorting to violence. Their fairness and wisdom in decision-making have helped build trust within the community. People believe that Druids have the ability to discern right from wrong and make fair judgments. Druids also serve as healers. They have extensive knowledge of natural medicine and various herbs. They treat people's illnesses with natural healing methods. They not only treat diseases, but also perform rituals for blessings and community health protection. People often seek them out for medical treatment or health advice. The success in healing has strengthened the trust and respect that people have for Druids. Not only that, Druids are also natural observers, astronomers, and meteorologists. They have a deep understanding of nature, astronomical phenomena, and weather. They predict the weather and seasons, guiding the community in agricultural activities. They emphasize the importance of living in harmony with nature and protecting the environment. People often worship sacred places, such as forests, hills, and rivers, where Druids perform rituals. They believe that these places have sacred power and are a source of inspiration for life. Druids perform many ancient rituals related to sacred forests, ancient stones, and holy sites. These rituals often involve using sacred objects and prayers. Druids often perform ceremonies on the full moon night, when the power of nature is strongest. Legend has it that a group of Druids held a ceremony to ask for abundance for the harvest. They connected with the nature spirits and offered valuable items. The next morning, they discovered that the seeds they had planted had sprouted into large trees, bringing prosperity to the community. This story illustrates the deep connection between Druids and nature. One part of the role of Druid is the mystery and mystique, making them respected and revered figures in Celtic society. They are known for their rich mystical stories and legends, reflecting their knowledge and spirituality. One of the mystical stories about Druid is the story of Druid Merlin. Merlin, one of the most famous figures in Celtic culture, is believed to be a great Druid. He has the ability of prophecy and is known as an advisor to King Arthur. A famous story tells of Merlin predicting the downfall of Camelot. To protect the kingdom, he used magic to put some members of the Round Table into a deep sleep so they could awaken when needed. Merlin's story demonstrates the wisdom and power of Druids in shaping destiny. Or the story of Angus and the Druids. Angus, a deity in Irish mythology, is known for his seductive abilities. Once, Angus fell in love with a beautiful girl he met in a dream. To find her, he sought the help of the Druids. They used their powers to summon the girl from the otherworld, leading to an emotional reunion between Angus and his love. This story highlights the power of love and the connection between worlds. When the Roman Empire expanded, the Druids became a target of oppression because they were seen as a threat to Roman control. The Druids had a strong influence on Celtic tribes, encouraging resistance to Roman occupation. They had the ability to unite tribes and inspire patriotism, resisting foreign oppression. One of the notable events in this confrontation was the rebellion led by Boudica, queen of the Iceni tribe in Britain in 60 to 61 AD. The Druids played a crucial role in supporting Boudica and encouraging other tribes to join the rebellion. Although the rebellion failed, it demonstrated the leadership strength of the Druids in resistance. The Roman Empire used various methods to oppress the Druids, including military conquest, propaganda, and tarnishing their image. Romans propagated that the Druids performed cruel and barbaric rituals, aiming to diminish their credibility in the eyes of the people. The Romans destroyed many sacred sites of the Druids, such as sacred forests and shrines, to eradicate their religious practices. One of the famous attacks was the destruction of the Druid stronghold in Anglesey, modern-day Wales, in 60 AD. There is an interesting story about the conflict between the Druids and the Roman Empire. According to legend, when the Roman army invaded, the Druids gathered to protect their sacred sites. They used their magic and knowledge to create storms and fog, disrupting the Roman army. From this story, it can be seen that this battle was not just a conflict over territory, but also a battle of cultural and religious values. The systematic oppression from the Roman Empire led to the decline of the Druids as a religious organization. Many of their rituals, knowledge, and traditions were wiped out. The rise of Christianity also contributed to the decline of the Druids, as many of their traditions and rituals were replaced or assimilated with Christian doctrines. Although the Druids were oppressed and eradicated, many elements of Celtic culture and traditional customs still exist. Today, Druids are viewed with a certain respect and serve as an inspiration for modern spiritual movements such as Druidry. The modern Druidry movement began in the 18th and 19th centuries, reviving the values and practices of ancient Druids. Many seek a deeper connection with nature, and Druidry has become a form of religion to help them achieve that. Modern Druidry often emphasizes the worship of nature and connection to natural elements. This includes performing rituals and festivals according to seasons, creating a strong bond with the environment. Many new spiritual movements seek knowledge and methods from ancient traditions, including Druidry. The concepts of balance, connection with nature, and respect for origins that Druids transmit have become a source of inspiration for many in the search for meaning and purpose in life. The Druid philosophy of living in harmony with nature, humanity, and the universe has attracted interest from those following modern spiritual movements, creating a communal and sustainable approach. Many festivals such as Samhain, Beltane, and Imbolc, which were practiced by ancient Druids, are now being reorganized in many modern Druid communities and other spiritual movements. These festivals are often closely linked to the natural cycles and are held to honor the changes of the seasons. Modern Druids often perform meditation rituals, prayers, and connect with nature to seek spiritual peace. They use natural elements, such as stones, trees, and water in ceremonies to create sacred spaces. Druids are known for their knowledge of traditional medicine and herbalism. Many modern spiritual movements have incorporated these methods into their healing practices, encouraging the use of herbs and natural methods in healthcare. Some spiritual movements also seek the connection between the body, mind, and spirit, which aligns well with the Druid philosophy of holistic care for humans. It can be seen that Druids are not only religious leaders but also preservers of Celtic knowledge and culture. Their rise and fall reflect significant changes in European history, from ancient times to the influence of Rome and Christianity. They continue to have an impact in modern spiritual and cultural fields. The influence of Druids in new spiritual movements is a revival of ancient values in a modern context. From worshipping nature, ancient knowledge, to rituals and environmental protection, Druids have left a deep mark on the spirituality of many people. This not only helps restore cultural values, but also brings meaningful connections between humans and nature and the universe.